Okay, guys, I got a question from a user here. That the question is, can I submit higher belts in jiu-jitsu training? So guys, he asked it to not be identified, so he asked it to keep it anonymous. And his situation is, I'm gonna read it here because I made notes. So his situation is, he's a white belt. He started jiu-jitsu 3 or 4 months ago, and he's athletic. He's like 210 pounds ish. And he has experience with judo and wrestling when he was a kid, so he has some understanding about martial arts. And so he's 210 pounds, athletic. He's on his 20s, so he's 20, I think it's 25 or 26 years old from the note that I made here. So his question is, can I submit higher belts in jiu-jitsu training? Because he said that when he trains on a very small gym, on a local gym, and he said that when he is training, one time he got the submission against a purple belt, and the purple belt got a little mad with him. And he also said that now he's kind of confused if he can go for submissions against those higher belts and how he should behave on the training. And guys, my answer here is yes, you definitely can. But I think there are ways to do that. I think like one experience that I can share here is like back in my hometown when I started jiu-jitsu, there was one guy over there that he was like a giant. And he was like really heavy too and really big. He was probably like 6'5", 6'6". And he was probably like 260, 270 pounds and all muscle and very flexible. And he was such a great guy, you know, like, so since he was like in the very beginning as a white belt, he was stepping blue belts, stepping purple belts, but he would not use too much strength. He would focus on the techniques. And I think like most of the times in jiu-jitsu, people get mad when you submit them being rude, you know, like using strength, you know, like being aggressive. But if you're just training with them and you're focusing the technique and you're really focused on using your leverage, on moving your body, they shouldn't be mad. They shouldn't be mad because they're tapping to you. So my first advice is, yes, you can, but focus on the technique. And even when you get the submission as well, like the worst thing that can happen is when a white belt taps a higher belt and he's kind of like cocky, you know, like he tries to show off to the entire class that he did that. So if you get the submission, try to not make this a big deal, you know, like, and then even thank your partner in the end for the row and tell him how grateful you are that he is sharing jiu-jitsu with you. So don't be arrogant. I think that's the message here, you know, like, because at the end of the day, like, we are all learning. Doesn't matter which belt you are. We are all trying to get better in jiu-jitsu. So the goal is to learn, you know, like, and then you're gonna get tapped and you're gonna submit people, and you're gonna get tapped by lower belts, and you're also gonna submit higher belts. That's how jiu-jitsu is. That's normal. And then the last thing I would say here is that if this situation continues where you were white belt, you were athletic, you have judo and wrestling experience, and you're tapping higher belts on your gym and they're getting mad, it might be time to look for another gym, because that might not be the right spot to train and learn jiu-jitsu. So at first, try to fix yourself. Try to fix what's on your control. Your control is to fix what your behavior, right? And I don't even know if you have to fix that, but what I would say is like, don't be rude, don't be arrogant, don't use a lot of strength, try to really focus on the technique. And then if you're still tapping them and they're getting mad at you, it might be time to look for another school. So I think my most important thing here is like, don't let this make you quit jiu-jitsu. You know, like, every time I think about jiu-jitsu, I'm always thinking about the long term. What's the long-term goal? My long-term goal is to do jiu-jitsu forever, to do jiu-jitsu until my body can handle. So anything that can start that journey, I'm gonna try to make some reflections. So your long-term goal should be either train jiu-jitsu for a long time, learn jiu-jitsu, get a black belt, get a blue belt, get a purple belt. So don't let this situation make you quit jiu-jitsu. So for example, oh, they're getting mad at me, so I'm not gonna train there anymore, and I think I'm done with jiu-jitsu. No, if you feel that they're really getting mad at you, you're behaving well, you're doing what you can to not be arrogant, you're really focused on the technique and still get mad at you, I would try to look for another school. Maybe you're gonna find another school where you don't even tap the higher belts because the level over there is so high, or maybe when you tap them, they don't get mad at you. So that's kind of like my suggestion here. Like don't let this stops you to grow. Don't let this stops you to reach a long-term goal with Jiu-Jitsu. And try to fix first what's within your control, which is your attitude, how you're submitting, if it's using a lot of strength, being explosive, or if it's really emphasizing the technique. And if the problem continues, don't stop Jiu-Jitsu because of that. Try to look for another gym as well. So guys, I think that's my advice. I hope that has helped you and everybody who is watching as well. That's how I would approach the situation. As I said before, I had a similar experience on my hometown school. The guy was freaking giant, really tough. He ended up winning a bunch of tournaments in the adult division as well to show like how good he was. His nickname was Kaká. And nobody would get mad to him because he was just like doing the techniques and tapping people. He was not like being rude, and even though he was very heavy and very big, I don't remember him hurting one person. Most of the times people get mad if you're tapping them and hurting them. But if you're not hurting them, if you're just tapping them, they shouldn't be mad at you. So that's my thought here, that's my thinking. Hope that has helped you. And guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure to subscribe. As you see, I'm trying to give you guys as much content as I can and as much tips as I can. And I think that's about it. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you.